Honorable Speaker, in the spirited defense that the Honorable Member for Damongo has put up, I hear a number of arguments. And Mr. Speaker, my former student, I am not. Mr. Speaker, my former student, he invoked the expresso unios es exclusio altarios dictum. And he then proceeded to my disappointment, to my utter dismay, he then proceeded to misapply the principle. The reason is very simple, Mr. Speaker. The principle of law is that in the construction of documents such as the Constitution, the National Constitution, the document must be read as a whole. You must interpret the document as a whole in order to be able to give effect to its letter and its spirit. Mr. Speaker, with respect to that particular issue, what the Honorable Member for Damongo failed to do was to avert his mind to the fact that in Article 102 of the Constitution, or let me take him to Article 104. 104.1 provides that except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, and usually in the drafting of national constitutions, Mr. Speaker, because a constitution is not an advertiser's announcement, you cannot put everything in the clauses of the Constitution. So, as a matter of economy of drafting, you use expressions such as except as otherwise provided in this Constitution so that you don't become repetitive. Mr. Speaker, Article 102 provides for quorum, just as Article 104. Now, Article 102 provides for the normal quorum for the conduct of ordinary business of this House. And he says, yes, that distinction was correct. But the effect to which it has in respect of Mr. Speaker's decision is what is wrong. All right? Mr. Speaker, when you read 102, it says that our quorum is 1/3. But when it comes to 104, that is decision time. And Mr. Speaker, because it says except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, and because they deal with the same subject matter, we cannot read Article 104 in isolation from 102. And that is the reason why. That is the reason why the point which has been made by the Honorable Member for Boku Central must be taken seriously. Because in providing for quorum, it says that apart from the person presiding, and Mr. Speaker, either the Speaker himself will preside, the first Deputy Speaker, the second Deputy Speaker, or in the absence of all three, a member. And that is why the Constitution provides, that does not say except apart from Mr. Speaker, it says apart from the member presiding. And so we must read apart from the member presiding into Article 104.1 for it to make sense. Because Article 104.1 is also a quorum provision, but it requires a higher threshold because it is a quorum provision dealing with decision. And Mr. Speaker, in this house, every decision is taken by a vote.
Even determining code.
Every decision is taken by a vote. And it is either a voice vote,
Or a head count.
or a head count, or a ballot, or a division. Either way, when we are taking decisions, we engage in the process of voting to determine the outcome. Mr. Speaker, in those circumstances, I want to submit, just as the Honourable Member for Boku has said, Boku Central has said, that a person who is disqualified from voting cannot be counted for purposes of determining the quorum for that vote. Mr. Speaker, this is a fundamental rule of meetings. And Mr. Speaker, yesterday I watched you on TV and you announced to this house, that you were being counted as a member of parliament for Bekwai. We recognize you as such. But when you are in that chair, you cease to be a member of parliament for Bekwai for purposes of the vote. When you are in this chair, and Mr. Speaker, the reason I'm saying this is that, Mr. Speaker, the Constitution provides expressly that you lose your original vote. That original vote is accorded to you because 1042. It is accorded to you in your capacity as the MP for Bekwai. If the Constitution takes away that original vote, the question is, how can you then, for satisfying the precondition for a decision, now be counted for purposes of the making of that decision?
Ridiculous. Very ridiculous.
And Mr. Speaker, part of the reason why your original vote has been taken away in your capacity as Mr. Speaker is simply because, in the wisdom of the makers of the Constitution, Mr. Speaker should not descend into the arena of conflict. Mr. Speaker should not be within the fray when decisions are being made. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Article 97 1B of the Constitution, whenever a member of Parliament is elected Speaker of this House, that member of Parliament is made to step down and a by-election is held. We saw this happening. In the case of the Right Honorable Joe Ajaho, he had to step down. And the fundamental rationale is simple. It refers back to what I have said, that a speaker cannot be a referee and a player at the same time. That is the reason why, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion ably moved by the minority leader that we rescind the decision that was taken yesterday, because, as the Honourable Member for Damongo said, if the decision taken on Friday was unconstitutional, if it was unlawful, if it was inappropriate, I will say that this is a gross undermining of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.